For some of us, camping is about as rustic as we're going to get. Maybe you've even gone glamping. Have you heard of that? But what if you didn't have shoes or clothes or even a tent? That is the premise behind the Discovery Channel's latest hit, Naked and Afraid. A man, a woman, alone, without clothes, in the wild, finding food, shelter, really just trying not to die. And I'm joined now by Alison Teal from Hawaii. She was featured on the show's reunion special, which aired last night. So, Alison, aloha to you. And aloha to you. And, you know, did you think that the show lived up to its name? Were you afraid? We know you were naked. Were you afraid?
Absolutely. You know, one time during the storm, I did get a little bit afraid when the camera crew, none of the medics, anyone could make it to the island, and I actually had to film the storm with my diary cam. So I have to say I got a little bit full of fear at that point. But other than that, you know, I'm pretty at home in that environment.
Sure, and you're quite the adventurer from, I think, from the time that you were 2 months old, because you are the daughter of adventure photographers. You were sort of running around the world. The world was your playground to some areas that we might say are inhospitable. Did this compare to anything that you had done before, or did this really push you to the extreme?
This definitely pushed me to the extreme. It's funny, it was actually kind of a coming-of-age experience for me because I'm used to the three adventurers, me and my mom and dad, and we go on these, you know, wild gallivants around the world, and suddenly here I am with a strange naked man, and I'm actually not one to be with naked men regardless in strange places, let alone on national TV. So that was, oh man, it was mind-boggling, but it was one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and I think it's changed me forever, for sure.
What was that like? So Jonathan, actually, I believe he is a retired Marine, I think. So he's sort of, you know, he should be having some skills as well. But what was that like to be, and you were in the Maldives, because each episode is in a different place. Some are in Borneo, I watched one in Panama. What was it like to be there with someone you didn't know, and what kind of difficulties did that create?
Well, yeah, if you can imagine, I mean, we're in the middle of the Indian Ocean. We're 20 minutes from the equator. It's 150 million degrees. I'm driven in by a boat that's run by a Muslim captain that I have to, you know, it's an Islamic country. So suddenly I'm taking my clothes off. I'm walking onto this island with the largest recon Marine I've ever seen in my life. And when he turns around, he has the word snipers tattooed on his back in huge letters. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is wild. What am I doing here? And, you know, we had our ups and downs. Luckily, we came together at the end. But, you know, it's really, naked is an issue for about 10 minutes until you're like, oh, gosh, where am I going to sleep? What am I going to eat? What am I going to drink? And how am I going to survive with this individual I don't know at all?
And it was really fascinating to watch, not just sort of the human interaction, but from the get-go, you have to swim into shark-infested waters because you're on an island that has no resources and you're not going to survive the 21 days. And also what sort of struck me was it was really interesting skills that got you by. For instance, this hat that I am sort of wearing, we saw you wearing a lot. You,
yes, are you wearing it?
Yes, you are a bit of a...
coconut shells too?
No, I can't wear the coconut bra that you made because our producer Jason actually took it and will not give it up. So I don't have that. But you are a weaver.
Tell Jason I'll make him a coconut jockstrap too.
Okay, I will. He's listening. We'll let him know that. But this sort of skill really came in handy, right, for you know, keeping the sun off of you and making things. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I actually made the first couple things for Jonathan because I could tell he was getting a bit lobsterfied. But he didn't really take on to the island-style clothing till a while later. I think he thought I was, you know, arts and crafts fair Maldives at first, but then he realized the importance of it. And yeah, I actually have some palm fronds right here. I'm kind of surrounded by palm fronds. I'm actually reporting to you live from my grass shack here in Hawaii. I live very Swiss Family Robinson. And so yes, you just take palm fronds. You can basically make hats like I made you. You can make baskets. You can make blankets. And it's just a joy to really actually live off the environment. So until times got really tough and we hadn't eaten in 16 days, it was actually cool to see what I could make out of what surrounded me there.
Yeah, and it was pretty amazing. And he was much fairer than you, Jonathan is. So I'm surprised that he wasn't up for wearing the hat. Alison Teal, it was great to see you on the program, and thank you so much for joining us today.
All right. Do I have a second?
Yes, real quick.
I would love to say that if you go to redcapes.com, REDCAPES, and you look up Alison's Adventures, I'm crowdfunding to take this knowledge that I showed on the show all across the nation to schools and bring it to kids, because that's my real dream, is to educate children. So check out redcapes.com, Alison's Adventures film series, and please donate to my cause, because I'd really, really love to get out there and inspire and educate kids.
And it is a pretty cool cause. I know that your goal in life is really to kind of make the world a smaller place for everyone and explore different cultures. So a good cause, Alison. Thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Mahalo.
Mahalo.